A big war started. It was a terrible time. Many countries were fighting. The world felt very scared. Life was about to change. It would change for everyone. It changed most for children. Their world turned upside down. This was World War II. Why did it happen, this war? Some powerful leaders wanted more. They wanted more power. They wanted much more land. So their armies invaded other countries. Other nations joined together. They wanted to stop them. It became a huge global conflict. A true world war had begun. There were two main sides then. The Allies fought with great bravery. Countries like Britain and America and Russia. They fought hard against the Axis powers. Germany, Italy and Japan were key Axis lands. The fighting was fierce and very hard. It went on for so many long years. So many lives were changed forever. Suddenly, homes were not always safe places. Fathers and older brothers went away. They went to become soldiers and fight. Mothers had to take on new jobs. Food became scarce and hard to find. Cities faced the terror of bombs. Children's lives changed in big ways, more than they could ever know. A new, hard life had started. Mornings could be very loud. An air raid siren might wail, or perhaps it was a quiet, nervous start. Breakfast was always very small. Food was rationed carefully then. Everyone only got a little bit. Children learned to eat what they got. They missed their usual sweet treats, and the taste of chocolate or cake. Fear was a daily unwelcome companion. The bombs were the very worst part. When the sirens wailed, it meant run, hide. Families would rush to their shelters. These were often cold and damp and dark. Anderson shelters were dug in gardens. Some children were sent far away. Evacuees missed their mums and dads terribly. It was often a lonely, strange time. But children, you see, still played. They always found ways to laugh a little. Hopscotch squares were chalked on the pavement. Skipping ropes turned faster and faster. They collected bits of shrapnel from bombs. These were strange, sharp, dangerous treasures. Imagination became their very best friend. A single, shared sweet tasted like pure joy, a moment of sunshine in the clouds. Children helped everyone they could. They grew carrots and potatoes in gardens. These were called Dig for Victory gardens. They collected scrap metal for war, old pots and rusty pans and gates. They ran small errands for their neighbors. Everyone had to do their part. Even the smallest hands could help. They felt important doing these jobs. School was very different during the war. Often it was closed for many days. Some teachers had gone to be soldiers. School buildings were sometimes damaged by bombs, so there was no school for long periods. Learning became a very hard thing. Everything felt so very uncertain. The future seemed like a cloudy sky. Children worried about their lessons. Classrooms were often just makeshift spaces, perhaps in a dusty old village hall, or sometimes in someone's large front room. Children had to share the few books. Pencils were used down to tiny stubs. Lessons were usually very basic indeed, reading and writing and doing sums, and learning how to stay safe. The teachers tried their very best for them. Family life was torn apart by war. Fathers were often very far away. They were soldiers, or sailors, or airmen. Some of these brave men did not return. This brought a deep, lasting sadness. Mothers had to become workers too. They worked in factories or on farms. They worried all the time for their loved ones. Their hearts were heavy with fear. Evacuation meant so many tearful goodbyes. Many children had to leave the cities. They traveled to the quiet countryside. This was to keep them safe from bombs. But they often felt so very alone, living with new families, with strangers, missing their own familiar homes terribly. Letters from home were like warm hugs. They read them over and over again. How did children manage to cope? They were surprisingly good at adapting. Their imagination was like a shield. They played games about the war sometimes. It helped them understand a little bit. Friendships gave them so much strength. They shared their secret fears and hopes. Drawing pictures also helped them speak. When words were too hard to find, small comforts meant such a lot. A beloved old worn-out toy, a friendly dog or a purring cat, a kind word from a grown-up, a smile. These simple things were like gold. Singing songs together in a shelter, it helped to chase away the dark. They were tiny lights in bad times. These moments helped them to keep going. Children showed such great, amazing strength. They faced real fear almost every day. They knew what loss and change felt like, but somehow they did not break apart. They learned how to be truly brave. They found small joys in little things. Hope, like a tiny seed, lived in their hearts. Their young spirits shone out brightly. It was a light for everyone. The long, hard war finally ended, but its deep memory always stayed. Children who lived through it grew up fast. They learned so much about human pain. They also learned about real courage, and they understood why peace matters so much. Their stories are important for us. They teach us, and they remind us. We must always remember them, always.